Sri Lankan fans will see Lahiru Udara 188 as the standout performance on the first day of the second test match. For me, however, the highlight was a brilliant stumping of Kamindu Mendis by Shai off the bowling of Justin Greaves. It was all planned. He fired it down the leg side. Hope was across in a flash, and one of the times I thought he was even too quick for his own good. The stumping was brilliant. It was a set of it was a stumping that West Indies wicket keepers are not known for, but he executed it brilliantly yesterday. Hello everyone. This is the Cricket Forum. It's the Caribbean #1 cricket channel. I thank you for being here, and I look forward to us communicating and interacting as we go through the second day's play, the morning session of this second test match between West Indies and Sri Lanka, live from the Sir Viv Richards Cricket Stadium in North Sound, St. John, Antigua. I hope you have a wonderful night. And I know that the Argentinian fans are smiling this morning. I appreciate every one of you that are here. And I look forward, as I said, to our interaction as we go through this day's play. We are on the way at St. John. They have moved on to 342 for 5 as Donisha uppercut Alzarri Joseph over the slips down to third man for 4. 4 deliveries have been bowled thus far in the morning session, and only the boundary came up off the third delivery. So we welcome everyone that are here, and please, you are encouraged to become a member of the Cricket Forum Members Club on Patreon. The link is in the video description. It's also in the live chat. Just click on it and become a member. So this is the fifth delivery of the morning's play down the leg side. Alzarri Joseph operating round the wicket to the left-handed Dunusha. Shai skips across and collect. I can tell you the field. There are 2 slips and a gully. So 2 slips and a gully. There's a backward point on the boundary. There's a cover and there's a mid-off. So that's the 6 on the offside. On the onside, you have a mid-on, a mid-wicket, and a man on the long leg boundary. So that's the field that Alzarri Joseph is operating with. He's round the wicket, the right arm fast bowl and turn away through square leg down to that man coming off the backward square leg boundary, the long leg boundary, that field out there. And there is one more to the total. So the end of the first over of the morning's play, it's 343 for 5. 343 for 5. Let's see. I would not have started with Alzarri this morning. I would have gone with Shamar and Seals, the same 2 that I started the first innings with. But it's you don't or you do that. Yeah, it's your option. Everyone have option, and the decision that you would have taken is not necessarily the decision that the other person would have taken. You know, in particularly that I would have to start with Shamar this morning, either first or second over. I'd have to start with him because he was our best bowler yesterday. And it is always my theory that your best bowler on the previous day should start the next day, unless there are mitigating circumstances. So I'd start with Shamar. Um, I would not have started Seals and Alzari. I would start with Shamar and I would go with Seals. But I do not have an issue with Alzari ahead of Seals or Seal ahead of Alzari. But my theory is that your best bowler from the previous day should start. And I think that Shamar was our best bowler from the previous day. So he should have been bowling either the first or the second over this morning. That's my theory. Whether it was Seals or Joseph to share the opening bowling with him, it's either one could have gone, but I would not have gone with Seals and Alzari. Shamar would have. 343 for 5 after 84.2 overs. I appreciate everyone that is here. I thank you for being here. And that catch that Seals got the wicket of Danajaya da Silva with Campbell taking the catch at first slip. It was a similar catch like the one that Justin Greaves went across Campbell and dropped it. And so it is good to see that this time Greaves decided to stay put and allow Campbell to take the catch. The batsman backing up a far way down the pitch, but was sent back by Nusha. So he have picked up his 100th test wicket. There's a disgusting post on Crick Info. I found it so disgusting. And it was from Crick Info because it has their logo on it. And it said something like this. It gives the impression that another West Indian bowler is not going to get 300 test wicket. Questioned whether there will ever be another West Indies bowler to get 300 test wicket. Yeah, that the post from Crick Info questioning. I can't remember it word for word, but it questioned whether there will ever be another West Indies fast bowler to get 300 test wicket. I found it so disgusting. Jayden Seals is on 100, and he's looking good. So congratulations to Jayden Seals, and we love his progression. We really love his progression. There was a picture that I saw not too long ago. Was that Jason Holder? Isn't that Jason Holder playing? But the batsman was clearly in. Why they needed to check that? I I didn't know that was the hold up of play. 344 Seals bowls to Kusal Mendis, who played it out into the gully region where Chase did the fielding, and there is no run. There was no run. 344 for 5, one to come in the second over of the morning's play. Again, I want to thank everyone for being here, and I really hope that West Indies can it's not going to be easy, but we need to try and get them out for under 400. And I think they bat good down to number 8, so there's still another good batsman to come. Why these people keep on walking behind the bowler when he's running in? Always happening. Those persons writing, and it seems like it's one of the Sri Lankan cricketer. I would love to see that setup again. Seals to Kusal as the ball touched down and seam away from the batsman. He covers up and played it to the man at cover. And there is no run. End of over number 85, the second of the morning. And Sri Lanka, 344 for 5. I would love to see that setup again right at the side screen. So 2 overs have been completed since the morning. Merrick, how do you doing? I appreciate it. I Merrick, I think that's semantic. I don't Alzarri is like that. I don't think you should put that on Alzarri. That you have to start with it, else he would get angry if not. I I don't agree with that. I really think that comment is no Merrick. I can't agree with that. Can't agree. I can't agree with that. I totally disagree with your opinion on that. As I can't tell the last time I've seen Alzarri Joseph opening the bowling for the West Indies, and he has not demonstrated angry. That's not what pissed off Alzarri Joseph. I think you're pushing it too far. You're pushing it too far, there, Merrick. That's not what pissed off Alzarri Joseph. And if he wants to get angry, because you see, once again, Merrick, I hope you'd have come up with a cricketing reason. Like I gave my a cricketing reason why I gave a cricketing reason why I would not start with I would have started with Shamar. Whether it's Alzarri or Seals, is you could go with either one of them, but you have to start with your best bowler from the previous previous match, previous day's play, right? Have to. Alzarri is on his way again, round the wicket to the left-handed Dinosha, who plays this out through square leg, and they will get a singer. As it appears that the man was a little backward of square, and they go through for the singer. So Kusal Mendis comes into strike now. So Kusal Mendis, the score goes up to 345 as Kusal Mendis comes into strike. It's going to be very interesting to see what happened here now. Because Alzari Joseph is working up ahead of steam here. He's really looking good right now. And so he's working up ahead of steam, which is good. We love that from our fast bowlers. The second morning, so he has three slips for Kusal Mendis. They have straightened the slip card, and so there are three slips and a gully, a cover, and a mid-off. There is also a sweep on the backward point boundary, the mid-on, and the man at deep backward square leg on the boundary. So it's a 7-2 field that Alzarri is bowling to, and that one comes back into Kusal Mendis sharply, took him in the midriff in the region of the waist as he was in the turn it into the onside, and there is no run. So back off a length from Joseph, and it came back in sharply to the batsman, right around the race area. I don't think it touched the family jewel area. No, yeah, right in the waist. Just I think on the belly button, and that's hurt. You can see that it's hurt. So 345 for five. There are three slips and a gully, deep backward point, cover, and a mid off. So that's a 7-2 field. There's a mid on and a man on the deep backward square leg boundary. 7-2. Joseph is in, bowls, pitched up, driven down the ground, 4 runs. So he pitched up and he drove it sweetly down the ground for 4. And I always wonder, why is it that West Indies always play with the mid off so short and so square? Because where that ball went just now, it should be going straight to the mid on fielder. And that's an easier shot to play. That's a risk-free shot to play. Look where that ball went. It should be going straight to the mid off fielder. Just about straight, or probably needed. If he moves to his left, he would get it. I always wonder why West Indies play with their mid off that square. 349 for five with one to come in over number 86, as that last delivery was defended by Kusal, and the fielder at point comes in and field. It is easier for the batsman to play the ball straight down the ground than to play it through cover. To play the ball through cover, he has to adjust his wrist and turn his wrist to get it through cover. To play the ball down the ground, he can always play with straight bat face. That means you can always push it down the ground. So by having your mid off that wide, you are saying to the batsman, I can just play an orthodox push down the ground for 4 when you have your mid off that wide. Joseph on his way bowls to Mendis, covers up, and there is no run. 349 for 5 at the end of over number 86. The Shusha is on 12. The Nusha is on 12 and Kusal Mendis is on 4. Yesterday, Chanderpaul made 188 and Kamindu Mendis, who was brilliantly stumped by Shai, he made 84 from 120 deliveries. As the two had a 215 runs for a third wicket partnership for Sri Lanka. They were 25 for 2, and these two took the score to 240 before a magical piece of stumping by Shai. 349 for 5. Oh, it's because I was wondering, But from afar, that man looked like Jason Older. Seals to Dinusha, who played it back down the hand side of the pitch. The bowler half stopped it and mid on completed it, and there is no run. Yes, sir. Yes. So the point I'm making about the mid off, you want to put the mid off in a position that the batsman have to turn his wrist to beat him. Where the mid off is, that square is giving up probably the easy shot in cricket. That push down the ground with a straight bat is probably the easy shot in cricket. Through mid off, covers up the left-handed. The Nosha as Jayden sees is over the wicket to him, the man at mid wicket field, and there is no run. It is arguably the easy shot in cricket, the half drive, not the cover drive, the half drive, not the on drive, the half drive is probably the easy shot, or push it down the ground. Pushing the ball down the ground is probably the easy shot in cricket. So why are you giving up the easy shot in cricket? No. You have to have a man to block that. Two slip and a gully goes down as Seals is over the wicket wide outside the half stump through to hope. There's no run. 349 for 5. Sri Lanka resuming this morning and 338 for 5. West Indies getting two late wickets yesterday. One off the over number 79 and one off over number 81. And either side of the new ball. As Sri Lanka at one stage was threatening to really pile it on. But West Indies have stuck to it. So there are two sips and a gully, the man at the point boundary, the cover and the mid off. Seals over the wicket, goes to the initial, drives through mid off again. The work for the fielder is giving chase. They're gone for one, they'll come back for another. This is good camera angle, very good. I love this. Clear, you can see it, and this is how the cricket should be shown. I love that. I love that. I really, really love that. Really love that. So they got two there, 351 for 5. Well done, producer. Big up to you, producer, for showing it like that. So everybody saw what was going on. You saw how many of the batsmen were running. You saw the fielder running after the ball. You know, you don't have to be so focused on the ball and us to see the ball. When that angle that we just got now as they run that too, I think it's perfect. I think it's absolutely perfect. 351 for 5. Shai is on 14. He's the left-hander. He's facing up to Jayden Steele, who's around the wicket. One for 75. He's in his 19th over short. The batsman ride it out into the covers, and there's no run. Just standing up tall and pulling away the left hand as he play that one from just about his chest, and it goes out to the man at cover. Yes, so reminding you of the field, those who are not watching, but my visually impaired friends who are always here with me. I know one from St. Mary is an Adventist, so he'll be going to church today. I hope he's not listening to cricket today. He can always really see it on YouTube. Steals is over the wicket, bows to Denisha full, clipped it to mid wicket, good stop, and there is no run. So there's a mid on, there's a mid wicket, and then there's the man on the deep backward square leg boundary. It's the end of over number 87. At the end of over number 87, Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting on the second morning of the second test, live from the Sir Viv Richards Stadium in North Sound, Antigua. They are 351 for 5 after 87 overs. 351 for 5 after 87 overs. So we beautiful image here. I'm gonna see the field for Alzarri Joseph as he bowled to Kusal Mendis. In the previous over, he had three slips. We'll see what is there now. Appears to be three slips on the backward point and the mid off. And Chase probably coming to gully. So there's three slips on a gully, backward point, mid off. I know that sometimes they bring the mid off around to try to cover the gap between backward point and mid off. I understand that. But I always believe so. Here's Alzarri Joseph now. He comes in over the wicket. He bowls to Kusal Mendes, who played it out to the field at backward point, and there is no run. So three slips, a gully, backward point, cover, and mid off. So I'm happy to see that they have brought in the backward point off the boundary and stop giving up the single, the ball just going through backward point. So well done, Chase. And he had a long conversation with Alzarri Joseph. So he was probably saying to Alzarri Joseph, this is what I'm asking you to do. I'm going to take in the man from backward point and stop giving up the single. Stop giving up the single through backward point. That is a single. So three sips on a gully and a backward point. He's over the wicket, balls to Kusal Mendis, who turn it away through mid wicket. There's acres of space there. It goes into the boundary for four. He's bowling to a 7-2 field, and he was back of a length. Under normal circumstances, that would probably be a good delivery, which a batsman probably would just leave out and allow to go through to the keeper. He wouldn't risk playing that shot. But because there's only a mid on and a man at deep backward square leg on the boundary, he knows that once he gets it into the onside, he's going to get runs. He probably timed it more than he wanted to, no, more than he thought that he would. And it runs away for four. So three sips a gully, backward point cover, mid off, seven on the offside, two on the onside. Joseph need to be full outside the half stump. He comes in bold, and that one is played away to the man at backward point, and there is no run. The score is 355 for 5, with Mendis on 8 and Dinusha on 14. So yes, that previous delivery probably timed it more than he was he thought that he would. I believe that he just want to play it into the inside and get a single or two, but it came right out of the screw and raced across the ground down to the mid wicket for four. 355 for 5. Kusal is on 8. The Nusha is on 14. And Shamar warming up there, getting ready. There is Joseph as the slips goes down, leave alone outside the half stump by Kushal Mendes, and it goes through to the keeper, and there is no run. That was 139.6. So you may call that 140. So you may clear what 355. Is that Shea Hope? Okay. So that was Shea Hope. Sal Mendes now. He's gonna face up to Alzarri Joseph. Justin Greaves clapped away at second slip. Campbell is at first. Justin Greaves at second. Kavem Hodge at third. Chase is in the gully. Joseph bowls to Kusal Mendes wide outside the Ashton through to the keeper, and there is no run. So that's the slip pardon. Jan Campbell at first. Justin Greaves at second. Kavem Hodge at third. Roston Chase in the gully. So there are three slips on the gully. Backward point, you have a cover, and you have a mid off. Just keeping it on the offside, Joseph. Probably a little too wide, and that could be have to do with the fact that he's bowling to a 7-2 field, and that delivery that Kusal Mendes worked through the onside, which was about on fifth stump. And because of that, he doesn't want that to happen. But what he needs to do is to pitch fuller, so it doesn't give him the time. Better delivery, and he pulls it through mid wicket now for four. So that was a little fuller, but he pulled it through mid wicket, a front foot full. I think the length was better. But let's watch the replay. I want to watch the replay. I would love to see the length. But I think that Alzarri Joseph is finding it a challenge to bowl to this 7-2 field. And while the captain may have a theory in his head, he also have to recognize that the bowler is struggling to bowl to a 7-2 field. And he probably just need to cut it down to a 6-3 field. So you probably need to take out one of the slip and put the slip at midwicket. You can't have them everywhere, but clearly Joseph is struggling to bowl to a 7-2 field. And if the bowler is struggling to bowl to a 7-2 field, it makes no sense. It's two things. You change the field or you take off the bowler. Jayden seizes round the wicket down the leg side, skipped across, and there is no run. So Dinusha, the left-hander, is facing up to Jayden Seals. He's on 14 from 28 deliveries. Kusal Mendis is on. It wasn't all that short, and I thought it was enough for the year up. But the batsman already decided that he's going to play that shot because he would have left those balls earlier. Yeah, this Seals round the wicket to Denisha, who covers up, plays it to the man at gully. He has two slips and a gully. Yeah, so Alzarri, I think probably Shamar is going to replace Alzarri, and um, but he definitely struggling to bowl for the 7-2 field. Yeah, I don't necessarily believe in the 7-2 field. 359 for five, Seals round the wicket, bowls to Denisha with defense on the inside of the pitch, and there is no run. 359 for five. I'm just thinking it out. And while I understand the theory of the 7-2 field, and a 7-2 field would have probably worked 10 years ago. But modern contemporary batsmen are always looking to score, and once they see the gap on the inside, even if you're 5, 6 stump, even if you're on fifth or sixth stump line, they're gonna go across and they're gonna decide early that anyway this pitch had gone through the inside, and I think that's what happened with that final delivery of Joseph over just now Alzari. So I hope they change the 7-2 feet. I don't agree with it. While I understand the theory of it, I really hope they change it. 359 for five. Four dot balls bowled thus far in this over by Seals as he comes in now round the wicket to Mendis. He's there and he delivered to Mendis, who clipped this away down to that man at the backward square leg. That's Alzari Joseph, who sends the return in 365 Sri Lanka. There are two Sri Lankan spectators in the stands, you know. So brilliant yesterday. And they have to be showing that West Indies bowled 37 overs yesterday in a session, in the last session of the day's play. And look at that. What that tell you? When they bowl at 23 overs per session, look at the run rate that Sri Lanka were scoring at. But when they speed up the game that little, you see how the run rate come down? That the batsman came across his crease and that one was zeroing on the middle stump and he got his bat down to it at the last moment and played it to mid wicket. And there is no run. 360 for five. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first. 360 for five. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting first after 89 overs. Athena, good morning to you. Happy to see you here, club member. It's a pleasure. Banana Brooks. The batters was far more uncomfortable with a shorter length into the midriff. Bowl it again with a short, square field, then he be suitable attacking. Uh, the above comment was for Alzari. You know what I like about that comment, Banana Brooks, is that whether one agrees with it or not, you have pointed out a clear strategy that can be used. And I love those type of comments which is showing a clear strategy. Whether you agree with the strategy or not, it is clear and you give your thoughts clearly. And and you just didn't pluck that comment out of thin here because you are going off what you saw. When that back of a length ball that came into Kusal Mendes, he was struggling to get back on it and it thundered into his belly button and you could see that he was in real danger. So you're saying set the field squared and go back of a length to him. Yeah, Yes, I see your tactics. Appreciate it. Shamar is also around the wicket to Denisha, beaten outside the half stump as that ball touched down and seam away from the left and then went through to Shea Hope. That was a cracking delivery by Shamar, you know. He touched down just about, let me see, just about fourth stump, but it was coming into the batsman. In the air, it was coming into the batsman. Then it touched down on about fourth stump and leave him ever so smartly. That's a cracking delivery as it goes through to Shea Hope. So he was round the wicket to the left hand side, curving in the air and then pitching. It touched down and leave him off the seam. Shamar bowls to Dinusha, and Dinusha leaves it alone outside the half stump. He's setting him up. Shamar is setting him up for that ball that comes back into him. I'm convinced that's what Shamar is doing. He's setting up Dinusha for that ball that comes back into him. So he's happy to have him leaving alone. Very happy to have him leaving alone. I think he do. So let's see what is going to happen now. As he comes in, he runs in. This is Shamar Joseph round the wicket to Denisha, short down the leg side, pulled away into the boundary for four. It was a nothing delivery. It was a worst delivery of the over. It's probably the worst delivery ball since morning. And the batsman was on it quickly and he pounced and pulled it away down to the boundary for four. Lovely shot there by Denisha. Lovely, lovely shot. As I said, it was probably the worst delivery of the morning. And he was quick onto it and he pulled it away down finally before it was just a nothing delivery begging to be hit. And the batsman duly hit it down to the boundary for four. 364 for five. That was probably a warm up delivery if there ever was one, but it was a fourth delivery of the over. So that delivery should not have been bowled in now. He's round the wicket. He bowls to the nurture down the leg side again. He's going for that glory ball and it's been picked off as it goes down to the man on the backward square leg boundary for another run. I think he's looking to bowl that glory ball, and that those glory ball doesn't come like that, Those glory balls doesn't, it doesn't. Those glory ball just doesn't appear. I think he's looking to hit the top of half stump, and he's trying to touch it down on about mega stump and then let it leave the batsman. But it's not leaving him. It's just continuing on the angle and going very straight. So he needs to get back that line outside the fourth stump. He bowls outside the half stump, played away by Kusal Mendis down to the man on the deep backward point boundary. That's Jayden Seals. 366 for five at the end of over number 90. 366 for five at the end of over number 90. West Indies, after losing the toss, Sri Lanka decided that they will bat first. They had 366. 366 for 5 with Kusal Mendis on 13 and Dinusha on 20. Let me run through the West Indies bowling chart quickly before we come to the next over. Jayden Seals have now bowled 20 overs. I'll run through the bowling chart after this over. So 90 overs have been completed. We should have been completed from yesterday, and we're 35 minutes into today's play. 7 overs. They're already 7 overs. They're already 2 overs behind. Already 2 overs behind. But I guess they will make it up when Seal and Chase comes at the bowl. Now we understand that Chase have to bowl more because you have to defend the money in the end, You have to defend the money. That's why every team need a good spinner. Seals is over the wicket, bowls to Kusal Mendes. He squared them up and a good stop there by Roston Chase in the gully as he looked to defend that ball down the pitch, but he got squared up and it goes away into the offside. So Alzarri Joseph have bowled the quickest in this match so far at 146.3. Seals bowl 140.9. So why is Seals fourth and Phillip third? Who lists that order? I don't know. So three West Indies bowlers have bowled above 40, which is good. Seals balls outside the half stump, the batsman covers up. And there's Banana Brooks' point. Because that ball was short and Kusal Mendis was jumping, and look very ungainly as he plays that ball out into the covers, you know. So there's Banana Brooks' point, 366 for five. Jayden Seals 1 for 76 from his 20.2 overs. Kusal Mendes is on 13 from 25 deliveries. Dinusha is on 20 from 37 deliveries. Yes, Jayden sees bowls to the right-handed Kusal Mendis, who allows the ball to steam away from him. He's a Sri Lankan wicketkeeper, Kusal Mendis. He's on 13 from 26. As he allows that ball to just steam away from him and goes through to the keeper. 366 for five. It's going to be Jayden Seals to continue. The West Indies fast bowler who picked up his 100th wicket in Test cricket yesterday. So let's watch as Jayden Seals comes in now to Kusal Mendes and he abort his run up. He just didn't get it right. He missed his stride, so he decided to abort his run up. And that's okay. That's what you tell the youngsters. When they get it wrong, they abort their run up. So this Denusha. This Sri Lankan batting lineup is not all that bad, because the top seven all averaging over 30, which I cannot say the same thing about the West Indies. And when when you look at a person like Kamindu, who before the series averaging over 60. But I guess those two dismissal would have probably pulled this average down a little. But know, so one has to give a lot of credit to these Sri Lankan batsmen. They are not going to just pull over and and we just nip them off. Even both batsmen at the crease do average over 30. Although Dinusha is at the start of his career, but still averaging over 30. Oh, many West Indian batsmen. Oh, that runabout looks lively today. Some rain fell. It even looked prettier. The roundabout looked lively and the grass looked fresher, like some rain had fallen and washed off. When rain fall and when you look at the mountainside, it looks look clean and pretty because it washed the dust off the tree leaves and so on. And it just looked prettier. Outside the half stop by Steels, no run, the batsman leaves alone. 366 for five. That's a maiden that was bowled by Jayden Steels. 91 overs have been completed. Yeah, it just looked pretty. And that's how North Sound is looking. It's looking very pretty this morning. You can still see that there's a lot of browning, but it appears to me that there have been some washing that took place in last night. Rainfall and washed the dust off the leaves and so on, and so they have that freshness. But there's still some amount of browning there at North Sound, so they probably need some good showers after this match to freshen up the place and let it look good. 8 overs have been bowled since morning. 28 runs have been scored. Shamar Joseph to continue. He's gonna move in now to Dinusha, the left-hander. And I want to see Shamar just bowl about that fourth, fifth stump line. I don't want to see him going for that middle stump. Some running repairs is being done on the field. Something wrong with Sheho glasses? Is it that the physio has to come out and carry out a different pair of glasses for him because there's something, or is he genuinely injured? Or was something else going on? But what I can just comment on what I saw. I saw that it looked to me that there was a change of glasses there, and I saw the physio beside him. So that's the only thing I saw. So 1-9. But we are ready again for cricket. 366 for five. Shamar round the wicket balls to Dinisha. Again straight. Again turn away down to deep backward square leg for a single. 367 for five. as Dinusha moves up to 21. Kusal and 30 will come into strike. So, good morning, God Ains. How are you? That was a comment there earlier from Banana Brooks talking about the strategy. These, these roads in Antigua are absolutely narrow. Is that a main road? 367 for 5. Shamar, two slips, goes down. Kusal Mendis pull high in the air. Let's see what happened. It gone. It gone for 6. 373 now for 5. That was back of a length. I really like to see it because was it all that short though? Or he just decided that he's going to pull? I really like to see. To me, it looks like he pulled that from below the waist and was hitting up all the time. Yes, he did from below the waist and he was always hitting up. Yeah, it was not that short, but he just decided that's what he's going to do. I think that was a premeditated shot. It couldn't be any other thing. That was below the waist, and he decided, look at it. Yeah, below the waist, and he had no intention of keeping it down. It was always up. Mark it was on leg stump. Good eye, very good eyes. Very, very good eyes. He picked that line brilliantly. So Kusal Mendes putting pressure on the West Indies bowlers now. Shamar, two steps goes on over the wicket, bowls to him down the leg side. He looks to turn that away. He's going right across his crease. And that for a moment there, I thought that one was very close to the leg stump. And I would love to see the replay of that one because I think that Kusal is going across his crease looking for the short ball. Yeah. So it's interesting. He loves. But Banana Brooks, as your comment is on the screen there, and I understand why you would have made that comment because of that delivery from Alzarri Joseph that's thunder into his belly button. But he seems a happy puller and cutter and hooker. Joseph Shamar in bowls driven down the ground four. Lovely shot on drive, best of shot at between the batsman and the stump. The hand drive, the perfect hand drive. You don't stop those. As Shamar pitched up and Mendis was on the front foot and he stroked it right between the batsman and the stump down the ground. Look at that. Brilliant. Look where he held the pose, the full face of the bat. You just don't stop those. Batsman just skipped and allowed it to pass him. You don't stop those. It was a cracking undrive. It wasn't the absolute perfect undrive, but it was a cracking one as a non-striker to just come out of the way. Shamar, two slips and a gully goes down. He goes to Mendes and Mendes defend to the man at cover. That's Brandon King, and there is no run. 11 runs out of this over thus far, and Kusal Mendes have passed the Nusha again because Kusal Mendes batted at 6, right? And Dinusha batted at 7. And Dinusha had gone ahead of him, but he has retaken the lead. But both came in rather quickly when both Udara and the Silva were dismissed in very quick succession late yesterday evening by the West Indies fast bowlers. Shamar Joseph, the right arm seamer, is bowling to the right-handed Kusal Mendes, who's over the wicket bowls and he looks to drive, but he mistimed the drive as he lost his shape and the ball goes to down off the inside portion of the bat and there's no run. End of over number 92, Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting are 377 for 5 on the second morning of the second test. 377 for 5. Yeah, so that was, yeah, that what you see, I wonder about that comment now, Banana Brooks, because to me it appears that he loves the short ball and probably why that ball thunder into his belly button. He have decided that anything short gone, and probably because he was at the start of his innings. Good morning to you, God Ains. How you doing? Yes, happy wicket hunting. I was hoping to get them out under 400. I don't think it is likely right now. I've not checked the weather though. So decision to bring back Alzarri Joseph into the attack to replace Seals. So they have lost. He has lost confidence in Anderson Phillip. So they have switched around Alzarri Joseph. He bowls, and that one comes back in a long way to Dinusha as he left it outside the half stump, but it came back in and challenged the half stump. Is this a case that he has lost confidence in Anderson Phillip? Why he is bringing back? Could be. It could be a case that we have lost confidence in Anderson Phillip, so he brings back Alzarri for another spell. Interesting. Very, very interesting. As the Nusha seconds and the West Indies tall, lanky, angling fast bowler lengthen his stride past the umpire, bowl to Dinashah, plays it to mid wicket, and there's no run. That's probably the slowest delivery bowled since morning. It was just 133.5. So he was a little surprised that he was called back into the attack. So he, he was quite warm. But let's see. Sri Lankas are very happy in this position. At 377 for 5, you will be happy. West Indies need to bat good to save this match. Down the leg side and taken by Shea Hope, and there is no run. They would need to bat good. Uh, I know God is going to is quickly going to say that I told you so from yesterday that I hope West Indies will bat good because this looked like they would need to bat good for a draw. Something along that line. I'm not really quoting his exact word, but the theme of what he's saying that West Indies will have to bat good to get a draw in this match. At 377 for 5, we need to get wicket in a hurry. Otherwise, we may. But they have scored fast enough, over 4 runs and over. Alzarri Joseph bowls to Denisha with defense down the offside of the pitch. The bowler fielding is followed through and he kept the ball. He didn't even throw it to another fielder to say work on it. He doesn't, you know, he just kept the ball. And I talk at length about what happened yesterday, what happened to the event. So I don't need to go into that again, you know. But it's clearly Alzarri Joseph not too much into these guys, man. He's not into these guys. Him just doing him thing and he played for him team. Round the wicket, balls to Dinisha outside the half stump, through to Shea Hope, and there's no run. It would be interesting to see what the poll's saying. Very interesting because there's a poll out, and I probably would be interested to see what that poll's saying, just to get a feedback of what you think. So 44%, the majority, the 44% is thinking that they'll make between 400 and 450. At this stage, boy, I can't blame you. Can't blame you at all. It looks that way at this stage. Definitely look that way at this stage. Last deliver to go in the over. As he comes in now, round the wicket, bowls, the batsman played it out. Good movement by Chase in the cover, send the return at the bowler's end. Alzarri Joseph saying, why Shy at the stump? They go through for the singer. Joseph is saying to Chase, why Shy at the stump? Already gone through for a comfortable singer. There was no need to, to shy at the stump, you know. So after 93 overs, they are 378 for 5. Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting 378 for 5. Yeah, so Cartens is going to say, I know my cricket. I told you that Sri Lanka is looking to bat on the ones and put West Indies under pressure. Yes, we love the banter, don't we? So this is Banana Rocks. Well, sir, Shamar is more skilly. Mendis was fresher to the crease, and those balls are angling to leg. Um, okay. Small margins for error at this level. Yes, 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 definitely. So Shamar Joseph, 2 for 77 from 17.1, 378 for 5. Definitely small margins for error at this level. Indeed, 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 indeed. You missed by a foot and you're gone. And especially with contemporary modern batsmen. You don't have to bowl bad ball for them to get it away. And I thought, so he's over the wicket bowls and he covers up and he played it down to the man coming in from cover. This is the 11th over of the morning. We could probably get 13 in the hour. This and one more. So that would be a big improvement from yesterday morning because if we get 13 in the second hour, we'll now get 26 in the session and 26 in the session. So if we get 26 in the session, my theory is that you bowl 32 in the next session before you take tea. That is my theory. Shamar bowls to Dinusha who covers up and played it back to the bowler. That ball was dead and legs middle stump and the batsman solid block, just blocked it back down the pitch to the bowler. And there was no run. The score remains at 378 for 5. So remain at 378 for 5. Dinusha is on 22. Kusal Mendis is on 23. Why are they playing football at a cricket ground while a cricket match is going on? 378 for 5. Round the wicket, Shamar bowls to Dinusha, who defends to the man at cover, and there is no run. That was just about a foot stump, and the batsman just blocked it to the field at cover, and there was no run. No ball, push the score up now to 379. So another no ball by Shamar, pushing the score up to 379. I, you see, Banana Brooks, as I said, I agree with you that there's small margin, but what I was saying, you know, nothing wrong with coming up with a strategy. I love those type of comment. So Shama is round the wicket, balls to Dinisha who defends. Good movement by Kemar Paul in the covers. Stop the singer. The score remains at 379 for 5. And like me, there are a number of times when I would have I came up with strategies and it worked. And there are times when I came up with strategies and it doesn't work. And so, as I said it, what I love about your comment was that it shows a specific plan, and that's all we can ask for, you know. So Shamar is round the wicket bowls and steered away by Danusha down towards the man on the deep backward point boundary. That's Alzarri Joseph, who had to move to his right. And by the time he moves 15 yards to his right, it allowed the batsman to come back for the second, which pushed the score up to 381 for 5, you know. Yes, we're fully aware that there's a small room for margin at this era. So that so don't feel bad because you get the strategy wrong on this occasion. Maybe the next time you get the strategy right. Maybe what you need to do is to consult me before you come up with the strategies so I can tweak it for you so that you'll more likely get it right. Just bantering you. That one is played away down to backward square leg, and there's a singer as King runs across and stops it with his foot. 382 for 5. I'm just bantering you, Banana Brooks. It's nothing more than banter. And that's what we do here. We just banter. Uh, so God Ains is saying, Anderson Phillips, I think it's Phillip though. Anderson Phillip should not have been picked. That's my view. He might just be a regional player. Mm. I don't know about the regional player part because he did outstandingly well in county cricket when he got a contract. Was it last year? Time flies so fast that sometimes I don't really remember. It was last year or the year before, but so he has performed outside the region. So to limit his performance to the regional player, I I don't think that is accurate. No, I don't think that is accurate. While I understand the general point that you are making, you probably want to say a first class is a first class bully. I don't. That I think that's the point that you want to make. But he had performed well outside of the region in county cricket. So first delivery from Alzarri Joseph at that ball. Score remains at 382 for 5. So good to see the field, two slips and a gully, and then there's a cover the mid off, the mid on and the mid wickets. I guess the other two fielders are square on the backward point boundary and the one on the long leg boundary. So that's the field. Alzarri Joseph round the wicket bowls to the left-handed Dinesh who played it to the man at mid wicket and there is no run. So there is a 6-3 field which I think is more balanced than the 7-2 because it gives you an opportunity to bowl a little straight at the stump. Now, what this 7-2 field does is that whenever you bowl in line with the stump, the batsman can always work it through the onside. That's what that's the disadvantage of the 7-2 field. So you do not really want to come too close to the stump when there's only two players on the onside. So a 6-3 field, I think, is more balanced. Joseph is round the wicket ball outside the half stump to Dinusha, who leaves it alone, and there was no run. Yeah, so for Joseph here now on the onside, you have the mid on, you have the mid wicket, and you have a fielder on the deep backward square leg boundary. Um, you, I don't, is about a 60-degree angle because he's not quite round to long leg, but he's at about the 60-degree angle, the one on the backward square leg boundary. So you don't really want to say long leg, it's about 60 degree. And then on the offside now, you have the two slips and the gully, the cover in the mid off, and the third man is round the wicket, bowls to Denisha, who defends to the man at mid wicket, and there's no run. That looks to be Hodge there at mid wicket. But generally, he would be at third slip. So first slip is Jan Campbell. Second is Justin Greaves. In the gully is Roston Chase. He's just pulling at his hamstring there. I hope there's nothing wrong with him. So Sam just touched his hamstring. I really hope there's nothing wrong there. So this 6-3 field is much better. Two slips the gully, the cover, the mid off, and then there's a man on the third man boundary. Joseph bowls to Denisha who drives to mid on, and there is no run. More like a check drive. That was 141.5. So he's fully warm up now. Really looking at him to see if he's going to hold that hamstring again. He looks okay. Kemar Paul clapping away as he walked past him. Kemar Paul is on the field. I've seen no graphics to say who is on the field for. For a moment there, just now, it looks like the Nusha was using his feet to Alzarri, and then somehow you remember that, it's Alzarri, Let me stay in my crease. The last delivery of this over. Let's see now. He's over round the wicket, bowls to the initial, is beaten outside the half stump with a beauty. Shai tossed it in the air to the field. That second slip made it over by Alzarri. 382 for 5 at the end of 95. So that was a made over. This is the drinks break. Are they going to do one more? It looks like it's the drinks break. 12 overs in the session. Yeah, it looks so. We're just double checking if it is drinks. Just want to make sure so I can go and get some drinks myself. The right man are so to eat. So yes, it looks like I think it's a drinks break. It's 1 hour after start. Some local boys playing football there. So I will back with you very shortly. I'm just gonna get something to drink and get a banana. Oh, you heard that? You hear my belly growing just now? Yes. So welcome back, everyone. I appreciate it very much. Appreciate you being here on this day, second morning. Oh well, 5 relievers have been bowled. What happened? Oh, so it wasn't a drinks break. That drinks break was very quick. There's one end of the over, 1 run from the over. It's 383 for 5. 96 overs have been completed. So did I move away that long? 383 that are oh now it's the drinks break. So I took my drinks break before the oh boy, I'm really losing it. I took my drinks break before the West Indies before they at the match. They took it at the match. So so hopefully I can go through some of your comments. And the Sir Phillips should not have been picked. That's my view. Well, I would have addressed that one already. I would have addressed that one already. So Carlton, I'm in pain. I was hoping to be wrong. The wicket seems like a all right, cool. Banana Brooks. Banana Brooks is saying, look at the edge of that greener strip to both left and right handers. It's a good guide for the right hander, but a bit straight for the left handers. Or you mean for the line? I, I'm going to look at. I don't. Let me read that again. Look at the edge of that greener strip to both left and right handers. It's a good guide for the right hander, but a bit straight for the left handers. Line for the bowlers. But if the strip is to the left and the right, it won't be the line or it be the length. Just to clarify, I'm talking about the green strip on the wicket. All right, I'm going to look when they come back. Yeah, so I'm going to look when they come back. Maybe the drinks break can bring us a wicket. Said Garth Ames. Really do. It happens so often in cricket where breaks give you a wicket. So that's the West Indies playing 11 on the screen there, and you recall yesterday the very controversial decision to leave out Joshua da Silva. Is Joshua da Silva on the field today? Because yesterday he didn't move a bat. He didn't listen to CS here. He didn't move a bat, and that was Shamar just now. So oh, Campbell, that was the over when I was not watching just now. Why Campbell boy? He took a good catch yesterday, but then he dropped a dolly. I think, in all fairness, while I am very disappointed that he dropped the catch, is that I shouldn't be. Campbell don't take 2 catches per match, so we just have to happy that he held on to the one that he held on to earlier. But now that he dropped the second one, probably the next one come to him, he will hold on to it. But I missed that, and I apologize to all the viewers, and I appreciate every single one of you who are here. And I please become a member of our club on Patreon and join the live discussion. We will be happy. We'll be very happy. Kervin Duncan. Kervin. I told you what to do, Kervin. And I I told you what to do, Kervin. I told you what to do. Make a comment and a video that has been completed already, and I'll sort it out for you. And I did send you the message. Just comment on a video. Don't not a live chat, on a video that has been completed already. Just make a comment on it. Sees is back into the attack, and this one is played out into the offside. And I did send you a message on a curved dunk, and I did reply to you yesterday, and I told you make a comment on a video on YouTube that has been completed, not on a live show. Once you do that, I can sort out the challenge that you are having. So I did reply to you yesterday, and I'm replying to you live now. If you are listening, make the comment on a video that has been completed already. And I've checked up to this morning, and I didn't see any comment from you. I don't generally check something as specific as that, but I did check up to this morning, and I did not see any comment from you. So I don't know if you had read the message or not, but so please do. Yeah, Roxanne, great to please do for me to, make a comment on a video that has been completed already. Not this live one, but one that have been in the past. Just make a comment in the comment section, and I can sort it out. Pitched up, driven to mid on, and there is no run. So yeah, so comment in the comment on the video that has been completed, and I can sort it out. So both that's Curvin Duncan and Roxanne Gray. Please do that for me, please. So this is a stubborn little partnership here that has been building between these two. Dinusha is on 25 years again past Kusal. Kusal is on 24. Phillip comes in bowls on that one, steered away off the outside edge down towards the third man. And there is a singer. So he had started well this morning, just a singer. The problem with him, and we saw it yesterday, that he always have that 4-ball in him. Let's see if he can go through this over without bowling a 4-ball, because I don't think that he bowled one single over yesterday where there was not a boundary that hit off him. He will bowl 5 good deliveries and then bowl a bad ball. It wasn't necessarily the last ball in the over that would be in the bad ball, but there's always that 4-ball in the over. Let's see what will happen now as he comes into Dunusha. So it's going to go around the wicket to Dunusha, outside the half stump, through to the keeper, and there is no run. So I really don't mind he bowls the other ball in that same spot and just come out of the over and just a single. And that would be a big boost to his confidence to bowl over that there is no run. That would be a big, big boost to his confidence. So just here is Phillip, round the wicket bowls, and it turn away into the onside. So good from Phillip. So those are little things that you cite and applaud the bowler, because that was an improvement from what happened yesterday when he didn't bowl over that never, when there wasn't a boundary in it. And this over from Anderson Phillip now was just the singer, and it was a much better over. 97 overs have been bowled, 384 for 5. And thank you very much, Banana Brooks. Yes, and yeah, there's it. Curvin and Roxanne, Banana Brooks saying that he had that issue, and it did get resolved quickly with the method suggested. And yes, please do. And that's the way we can resolve it. 384 for 5 as Shamar's in bowl outside the half stump through to the wicketkeeper. So Campbell did drop Kusal Mendis off Shamar Joseph in that over, which I wasn't doing the watch along because I thought that it was the drinks break, and I went and had my drinks break. Yes. So 384 for 5. It's time for well, no, you have to give Shamar. This is Shamar fifth of the day. So after this one, you can go to chase. Shamar bowls, pitched up, driven back down the pitch, and there is no run. But what I want to say about my theory this morning, that I always start with the best bowler from the previous day. That's a theory that I have, because I'm always of the opinion that the man who is getting wicket, who has been bowling good, would have gone to bed with the confidence and come back the next morning with that same confidence, as Joseph is over the wicket, bowls to Kusal Mendis. So when I saw Seals and Alzarri started, I question why Shamar is not one of the bowlers that was starting. And you see what happened. Shamar comes on and he has been bowling better than those two. So he picked up from where he left yesterday. He's the only one who have created an opportunity since morning. Albeit it, Campbell dropped it at first slip, but he has been bowling better than the other two. And that's what I based my theory on. The man that was bowling good yesterday, I'm gonna start with him the next day. You know? 384 for 5, 2 to come in this over. Shamar Joseph, 19.4 overs, 2 for 82. 2 for, and yesterday it was 2 for 70. So it's none for 12 from his 4.4 overs since morning. That's good. Wasn't it 2 for 70 yesterday? I would. These are the times when you. Banana Brooks, what was Joseph figures yesterday at the end of play? Please tell me. Here's Joseph now. He's over the wicket. He bowls to Kusdal Mendis, who has to defend down back the offside of the pitch, to the bowler who field and is followed through, and there is no run. That's a good, nice, tight delivery on the line of fourth stump, third and a half, fourth stump, somewhere between the half stump and fourth stump. Yeah, that's a good, tight delivery. The batsman has to defend, and he did so well, with full face of the bat. Test cricket at its best. Good bowling, good defense, good batting. 384 for 5. I wonder if the West Indies bowlers bowl to the West Indies batsmen in the net. Here's Shamar Joseph. He's over the wicket. The two slips on the gully goes down outside the half stump through to the keeper. There is no run. So end of his 20th over, his fifth of the morning. Do you give him one more? Or do you carry on chase? That's the discussion I would like to have, gentlemen. Do you give Shamar one more, or do you go for chase? I would really love to have that discussion. Tell me what you think, guys. Those members of the community who are here, tell me what you think. Do you give him one more, or do you go for chase right now? What do you think? Do you go for chase, or do you give him one more? But Anderson Phillip is going to continue. And he starts with another dot ball. So good start here this morning from Anderson Phillip. I really hope he proves Garth Haynes wrong. I think Garth Haynes, I get the impression, and is round the wicket ball outside the half stump through to the keeper, and there's no run. Garth Haynes, what I want you to do is to hope, is to want Philip to do good. I think I'm reading you that you do not want Phillip to do good because you prefer to say, I told you so. So that's how I'm reading you, you know? Well, I hope I'm reading you wrong, but that's how I'm reading you. You wouldn't mind if Phillip goes for 5, 6 runs and over just to say I told you so. Back off a length, the batsman guided down where backward point would have been. Chase has to move from gully to field and they go through for a single. 385 for 5. So that's it. That's it. That's the impression I'm getting. But he has bowled 9 good deliveries this morning. Have conceded only 2 runs. So he has been there or thereabouts since morning, whatsoever that means. It's a cliche. I think there or thereabout mean on and about our stump since morning. That's what it means. Phillips is in, bows to Kusal Mendis. That ball seemed away from him and it took the outside portion of the bat and goes to the chase on the bounce at gully. That was a good delivery now. Traveling the air some bit, but it bounced well in front of Chase. So that's a good delivery to Anderson. He probably just need to keep it right there and let the pitch do the rest. Just keep it right there. Don't go for anything extra. You know, 385. He's under pressure, but I think he's really the number 5 bowler in the West Indies. Seamer. I think he's ahead of the rest. He's over the wicket, bowls that one again, back of a length, chase again, field in the gully, and there is no run. 385 for 5. Yeah, that is number 5 for me. The other three that are playing in this match, and Shamar and Kemar Roach are the top 4. Anderson is at 5. Niall Simmet is at 6. Those are my top 6 fast bowlers in the West Indies right now. 385 for 5. But I just get the impression that Garth Haynes doesn't want him to do well to be able to say, I told you so. That one came back in sharply to the batsman, taken on the pad, high up above the pad. There's no run. Good end to the over. 2 overs since morning for 2 runs. So that's a good start by Anderson Phillip this morning. 385 for 5 after 99 overs. So legs in the West Indies bowlers. Okay, so you'd give him one more because Chase would be bowling a lot today. All right, I love that sort of comment. What would you do, Banana Brooks? You will give him 2. So it's 2 for 60 at the end of day 1. So he has bowled 5 overs for 22 runs this morning. Okay. Oh, that first over, yes, they did pressure him in that first over. So Greaves is into the attack. Your boy's into the attack. Garth Haynes. Good to see your boy into the attack, Garth Haynes. I would, yes, I'll give him one more. Yes, Athena is saying solid batting by Sri Lanka. Yeah, what I would have loved for you to tell me though, Garth Haynes, was whether Athena was whether you would have given Shamar one more or not. But Greece started at that ball. The score remains at 385. 385. Okay, so having gone for 22 runs this morning from his 5 overs. Yeah. I think that first over when it was a 6 and a 4, Kusal Mendis, it was the first over. You remember that first over from Shamar? Well, was it 11 or 12 it went for? I think 11. So his other 4 overs just went for 11 runs. Because Kusal Mendis did it in for a 4 and a 6 out of that first over. As Greaves bowled to Dinisha again, another that ball as the score goes remaining at 385 for 5. We're in the 100th over of the Sri Lankan innings. So we're in the 100th over of the Sri Lanka's innings. Oh, I'm reading your. Well, the honest truth, though, Garth Haynes, I expected that wild delivery from Greaves down the leg side. I know that you would say that, and I understand. I think everyone in the chat knows that you would say that. So I'm not surprised by that answer, right? So uh, that's surprised by that answer at all. We almost we know that that would be the answer. That you would say I'm reading you wrong. Wouldn't, but and because and why I know that is the answer, I would have defended myself that way too. So I know that that would be the answer, that I'm reading you wrong. You would never give me credit for reading you right. You know, you never give a person, no one give a person credit for reading them wrong, for reading them right. No one. As Greaves to Kusal dug out the Yorker, it goes into the onside and there is no run. So that's the West Indies playing 11 on the screen. King, Campbell, Hodge, Jangoo, Chase, Greaves, Hope, Alzarri, Joseph, Phillip, Joseph, and Seals. Will bat at number 7. Will Chase keep his position at number 7? Hodge will go in at number 3. With Shai Hope being keeping wicket, will go down to number 6. And so we'll see Greaves remain at 5. Is that the situation? Interesting. Who will bat at 7? Where will Shai Hope bat? 4 or 6? He's out there keeping wicket now for 100 overs and more to come. Because I don't think Sri Lanka will declare for less than 500. So we'll have to either bowl them out or somewhere about T today they would declare when they were probably about 500. Because they so where will Shai Hope bat? 4 or 6? That's a good poll, you know. Where do you think Shai Hope will bat? He's not gonna bat at 7. Chase will probably come back at 7. You made 195 batting at 7. You come back 194 batting at 7. It's 386 for 5, and you are the captain. Why would you move up the order? Jangoo having made 233 batting at 4. Do you move him from 4? You know, so those are some interesting decisions to be made. Um, I think Shai Hope will be at 6. With the amount of work that he has to do behind the stump, you know, and that's why I was always in favor of not dropping Jangoo if I'm bringing back in Hope, because that's something I addressed at length yesterday too, so that's okay. 386 for 5, but the gist of it was that Hope, when he's not keeping wicket, he performs better with the bat. Phillip is round the wicket, balls taken on the pad. There's a stifled appeal. I'd love to see ball tracking for that one, you know. That looked closer than the reaction of the West Indies bowlers to me, the fielding team. Yeah, just looking at it, it looks much closer. Unless there was an inside edge, I would definitely love to see ball tracking for that one. As he pitched up to the left hand, I would look to work it into the onside. It thunders into the pad, and to me, that was pitch in line with middle stump to me. So I'd have really loved to see ball tracking on that one. 386 for 5. Anderson Phillip round the wicket, balls to Dinishaw, comes on the front foot and blocked it to cover, and there's no run. Nice, solid defensive shot. Good delivery. 133.2. So he's bowling as fast as Seals this morning. Just just like me, Garth Ains, just like me. Yeah. Yeah, that's the spirit, man. It's all about banter, don't? Yeah, that's the spirit. Yeah, anyone take it outside of that, they are not in the spirit of a community like this. It's all about banter. Phillip round the wicket, pitched up, clipped off his toes, through square leg, straight to the fielder on the boundary. He went for the Yorker there, and the batsman clipped it out to the fielder on the deep square leg boundary. 387 for 5. Um, is this the third consecutive over that Phillip is bowling that the singer came off the third delivery? Check that for me, Banana Brooks. If that the singer came off the third delivery, am I paranoid or what? I think that this is the third consecutive over. So it's coming out to Kusal Mendis bowls, and that one turn away down to fine leg. Work for the field and the fine leg boundary. Shamar Joseph, he did it well. and lob the return back to the keeper. Another singer. So 388 for 5, Anderson Phillip. And this is the Anderson Phillip that I know, bowling wicket to wicket and forcing the batsman to play. Because that ball was zeroing and mega stump, and Kusal Mendis got the inner portion of the bat on it, and it goes down towards the man and the deep backward square leg boundary. Phillips to the left hand. Philip to the left hander is round the wicket. Bowls to Dinusha is after back foot and crunch this down to the man and the deep backward point boundary. So another single there. The score goes up by 1 to 389 for 5. Much better spell from him this morning. He has not served up that 4 delivery as yet. Hopefully he doesn't. He's operating from the Sir Andy Roberts end. 389 for 5. Dinusha is on 28. On strike is Kusal Mendis, the wicketkeeper batsman. He's the right-hander. Phillip is a right-arm seamer. He's operating over the wicket to Kusal Mendis. As I said, he's on 26 balls. The batsman turned this into the onside again. Another singer. So 4 singers after the last 4 deliveries of this over. 390 for 5 at the end of over 101. Kusal Mendis is on 27. His partner Dinusha is on 28. Mendis will keep the strike. We expect to see Greaves for another over. 3 overs for 5 runs this morning from Anderson Phillip. So not a bad start from him this morning. Banana Brooks is saying, nice swing from Phillip to the lefty. I think it was top of the leg. Maybe did too much. Yeah, I got you, Banana Brooks, but I think it is closer than what we saw because they did not appeal, and I would love to see a replay of it, and I would love to see ball tracking on it because I really think that it was there or there about. Greaves outside the half stump to Kusal, who leaves it alone. It goes through to the keeper, and there is no run. That looks slow from Greaves. It looked probably 122. Yeah, as I said, that was slow. It really looks slow. It just looks slow and look like it dying all the time. The taping up the man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's over the wicket, bowls, covers up, and that one goes away down towards third man as it peeled off the outside portion of the bat and goes down toward third man for another single. So both batsmen are on 28 with 391 for 5. Sri Lanka, remind you that they won the toss yesterday morning. And although there was some tinge of grass on the pitch, they decided that they will bat first. And batted first they have done, and they have done so very well. They're 391 for 5 at 25 for 2 yesterday morning. One was wondering if the decision was the right one, but good innings by Lahiru, Udara, and Kamindu Mendis. Round the wicket bowls outside the half stump, left alone. Tight leave that by Dinusha, but it was a good leave. That one a little quicker there from Greaves, 129. That one was touching 129. So it's 391 for 5. Dinusha is on 28. Kusal is on 28. Both batsmen are on 28. Someone there blowing the conch in the stand. 395. 101.3. So we are in over number 102. He's coming in from the Kirtley Ambrose end around the wicket, bowls to the left and the Dinusha who play that ball to the fielder at backward point. So there's a slip in place, there's a gully, but the slip is at about second slip. He's standing very, very wide. So that little girl learning the tradition there, blowing the conch. Yeah, so that there's a slip who is at about second slip, and then there's a gully, and there's a backward point, there's a cover, there's a mid off. Greaves is round the wicket, it cuts away past the man at gully down to the boundary for 4. Diving effort by Chase in the gully. Was that another drop catch? And Greaves is saying, come on. He's not as animated as a Jayden Seals, but he's saying, come on, or he doesn't give the death steer like Alzarri Joseph. Did Roston Chase drop that catch? Oh, we need to see it from another angle. He dropped it, Chase dropped it, Chase dropped the catch. Chase dropped. It's just a look on Greaves' face, that one laugh outside the half stump, leave alone by the keeper, it goes through to the leave alone by the batsman, it goes through to the keeper, 395 for 5. Dinusha is on 32 after that boundary of the bowling of Seal. So Chase dropped the catch. Banana Brooks, it looks like a drop catch to you. It looks like one to me. What are your thoughts? Sir Kervin and Roxanne, just do that for me, please. What are your thoughts, Banana Brooks? To me, it looks like a drop catch. Let me know what you are thinking. I definitely think it was. It was low to his right. He should have taken it. Definitely believe so. Definitely believe so. So let's Anderson Phillip to continue. This is fourth over of the morning. He comes in and bowls to the right-handed Kusal Mendis, who defends a solid block back to the bowler down the off side of the pitch. And there's no run. So we started out this morning at 83 overs. So at the end of this one, we would have bowled 20 overs for the morning. And there'll be a further 20 minutes left in the morning session. Can these guys get 6 overs in that 20 minutes? Well, even if they get 5, it will be much better than yesterday morning when they only got 23 in the first session. Somebody talked to them about their salary. Phillip's bowls, and as that one touched down, it seemed the way he left the batsman, and there was Kusal Mendis looking to turn it into the onside, and then it straightened, and he adjusted the shot. Could be on another day that would have gotten the lead in hedge and go high in the air for a comfortable catch, but on this occasion it went back to the bowler. But that was a nice delivery from Anderson Phillip. Touchdown in the right area, just about mid and half stump, and then started to leave the batsman. But because it came in on the under, he was looking to turn it through the onside. But luckily for him, it went all along the ground back to the bowler. Phillips bowls to Mendis, and Mendis, this one peeled off the outer portion of the bat to Roston Chase in the gully. And the score remains at 395 for 5. And Anderson Phillip now really looking the bowler that we know he is. This is the bowler that we see playing for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. This is the bowler that we see playing county cricket. He really looks good now. And I have all the confidence that he really is our number 5 fast bowler in the region. And it's good to see him bowling like this. These last, especially this over, he's bowling with a lot of confidence. I hope he doesn't have the commentators curse now. He's on his way up, bowls to Mendis, and Mendis again has to defend. It goes to the man at cover, and there is no run. So 4 consecutive delivery in the right era. And they're showing that stumping by Shea Hope yesterday. It was all planned. You know, uh, Kamindu Mendis can't believe that it happened to him. He can't believe the base was off in a flash. Can't believe that it happened to him. He's distraught. He's hurt. Phillip over the wicket, bowls on the leg stump, turn away through mid wicket. The fielder comes off the boundary and they gets one. That one was just turn away through mid wicket, and Kusal Mendis there going a far way across his stump, and that ball was zeroing and mid and off, but yet still it was on his leg. That's to show you how far he's moving across his stump, and he turned it into the onside. So he's going right across his stump. You could see the mid and leg stump when he played that ball. So The left-hander Dinusha is on strike now, and Phillip will go round the wicket. They have conceded just one run thus far. He's in round the wicket outside the half stump through to the keeper, and there is no run. So another good over by Anderson Phillip. That was his fourth of the morning, and he have conceded, was it 6 or 7 runs thus far? Six, three, one, 6 runs so far. I think he started today conceding 53. So good start there by Anderson Phillip this morning. 4 overs for 6 runs, a much, much better spell from him, and he looks very good. Yesterday he was very wayward, but today he's looking much, much better. Much, much better. Tina saying that the new keywords come on. Yeah. Well, Jayden Steele said a little more yesterday, right, Athena? Jayden Seals did said a little more yesterday. Eh? So 396 for five. I guess Justin Greaves will continue. Having have a catch dropped off his bowling in the previous over by no less a person than the captain. So Greaves will continue. Will bowl to Mendis, who is not yet ready. We wonder why he's taking a long time. You know, the West Indies bowlers are ready and the batsman is holding them up. And they are 5 overs behind, as you see there. And the Sri Lankan are holding them up. The umpire needs to tell him to get on with the game. Outside the half stump through to the keeper, and there is no run. Yeah, he needs to get on with the game. The guy, the money is on the line. No? And every cricket team need a good spinner, a very good spinner who's going to come on and bowl 25 overs in a day. And that's ramp, scoop away, down towards the backward square leg. It never came out of the middle of the bat. One more to the total. Probably took the toe edge of the bat. I'd love to see the replay because that one was lobbed in the air. It never had any carried on it or so on. He moves up to 30. I think it took the toe off the bat. Let's see. Here. Yeah, it come off the toe of the bat. Luckily for Kusal Mendis, he's living a charm life. Both batsmen at the crease have been dropped by Campbell and Chase. Denusha by Chase, Kusal Mendis by Campbell. Greaves bowls to Denusha, who's forward and defense to mid off. And there is no run. 397 for five. So 397 for five here, West Indies. Looking to get some wickets here to just stifle the Sri Lankan batsmen and try to get them out for less than 400. You know, Greaves round the wicket balls to Dinusha, who are just push the left pad, push the right pad allows it to go through. As he's a left-hander, so you just push the right pad allows it to go through to the keeper, and there was no run. So 397 for five, much better spirit than yesterday morning. As as was the case yesterday, we don't do the middle session because it's only one person doing the watch along, and you really need the time to relax and rest the brain and just to recover. As simple as you take it, this take a lot of energy. Sometimes you finish doing a watch along, you are absolutely tired. Yes, we need wicket. We need wicket, boss. We need wicket. Is that a young commentator? He sounds like a young commentator. I'd love to hear what he's saying. I'd love to interview him, definitely. Did Greaves just spit on himself? Balls. That's one turn into the onside and they go through for a quick finger. And he's not happy with that. End of Greaves over. So I think we'll give Phillip one more Just give him a fifth one to see, and then it will be chased for the rest of the day from that end. And we rotate the seamers from the other end. I want Chase to bowl at least 2 overs before lunch. This is a third one from Greaves. He had bowled 8 yesterday, so it's a third one from Greaves. I want 2 overs from Chase before lunch. So I would probably carry him now, because if I don't carry him now, I wouldn't be able to get him to bowl 2 overs. With 15 minutes to go, um, could be, could give him one more, could give Phillip one more, and yes, so they're giving Phillip one more. They're giving Phillip the fifth over. No, don't have any issue with that. So do Greaves probably just bowl him up until lunch then. He's round the wicket, bowls to the left and outside the half stump, through to Shai. So what will happen at the end of this session? I will come back for the start of the West Indies innings. So as soon as the West Indies innings starts, I'll be here to start West Indies innings. So having done 2 hours this morning, that's a lot. That's a lot for one person. So I'll come back at the start of the West Indies innings. Hopefully, it will be about tea or before. Can we get these 5 wickets before lunch? No, they couldn't come off that quickly. 398 for 5. Phillip is round the wicket, bowls to Dinisha, beaten outside the half stump. And Shai said, yes. Did he get a hedge to that? Did he get a hedge to that? Lovely delivery. He has really improved. And this is the Phillip that one has to be proud of now. Oh, I saw what you're saying, Banana Brooks, about the green mark on the pitch. That's somewhere you can aim for when it comes to your line. I see it. I see it now, Banana Brooks. I absolutely have seen it. Phillip, in a very good spell, feeling much better about himself, comes in bowls to Inusha, who leaves one alone outside the half stump and let it go through to the wicketkeeper. And there was no run. So, yes, I said, I'm not sure it went fast and low, replace lacking for the last few overs. Yes, we haven't getting any replay for the last few overs. And yeah, the catch to either the catch to Chase nor the leg before to Anderson Phillip, who was round the wicket, bowls to Dennis was on the front foot and pressed it through the covers. They will get two as Shamar Joseph has to move to his left, coming round from the cover boundary, and 2 more runs to the total. That was that. West Indies team look a little tired out in the field enough. So the Sri Lankan 400 is up. Yes, so the Sri Lanka 400 is up. They were- Oh gosh, I didn't realize. I didn't realize that's what I have on my screen was saying day one. It's not day one, it's day two. Oh gosh, how could I make that? And that's correct, you know. That's correct. I just saw it. One of you guys could tell me that is day one I have there, man. Come on, Guardians and Banana Brooks. Oh, Blunder Factory would love to see this, wouldn't he? Outside the Arsenal, leave alone, through to the keeper, and there's no run. If Blunder Factory see this, he and his Stony, they come to me. They get at me. Oh my Lord, somebody put day one. Can you believe? Day one. Banana Brooks, come on, man. Oh, you let me have day one up there, boss. You didn't correct me, eh? You Banana Brooks? Man, you have to correct me, man. Phillip again bowls. The batsman covers up, plays it out to the fielder at cover, and there is no run. So that only 2 runs from this over. So we have now bowled 5 overs this morning for 9 runs. Much better there from Anderson Phillip than what he did yesterday. He just came back today and he's just plugging away. So that was absolute, has been better, much better than what we saw yesterday. So Banana books. I don't understand, banana books. It's day one up there from morning. Banana Brooks. Yes, Banana Brooks. I always love the band. Athena is yes, good. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Athena. Yes, please subscribe, share, and like. Please, yes, please do. Please do. So Greaves to continue. Can we get two from Chase? No, we'll probably get two more from Greaves and one from Chase. So can we get 3 overs here now to end the morning at 25, which would not be bad. I've been bowled 22 since morning. The West Indies players need to be cognizant of these things, Well, I said I wasn't going to talk about it anymore because if they are not aware, because they are the one who are losing money by bowling the slow over rate. 400 for 5 is Sri Lanka. Greaves down the leg side. Good take by Hope. Oh, Joshua da Silva need to look at those feet a while ago. Hope did move well a while ago. Did move well. Brilliant. Good take. It's a nice movement of the feet, quick. You know, no plaiting. Keepers don't plait like in the past. They just move laterally, and that was good. A good spell, and good to see that the smile come back to Anderson Phillip face. Over the wicket, come Greaves, bowl outside the half stump. That one probably kept a little low, but it was 127.4, so maybe that's the reason. 400 for 5, Sri Lanka. Boy, at 25 for 2 yesterday, I was jumping and was singing, but then the man, them dug in boss. I thought West Indies would be batting by now at 25 for 2 yesterday. I said, 130, them man, yeah, make, them man, yeah, now make 150, man. Well, they're about to triple 150. Full toss, play to me down, and there is no run. That was a fast delivery by Greaves, 130. I mean, fast to his standard. I don't mean fast overall, but that was the effort delivered by Greaves. So maybe that's why it was a full toss. And maybe that's why it surprised Kusal Mendis a little because he was unable to put it away because it was quicker than what Greaves was bowling. And so it was a full toss. That's a effort delivery. And that's why he wasn't able to land it in the area that he wanted. But good to see Greaves bowling that effort delivery. 8 minutes before lunch, West Indies should be able to get in 2 more overs. He's over the wicket, bowls to Mendis, who defends down to Medan, and there is no run. Uh, this they have been on 400 for quite a while, isn't it? From the 2 of Phillip over. Yes, so 7 deliveries have been bowled since they're on 400. Nick off somebody now, Greaves, and let West Indies get another wicket. The umpire wants to sleep. What's his name? Dayton Butler. He looks like he wants to sleep, huh? He looks sleepy. Over the wicket, balls pitched up and the dugout to Medan again, and there is no run. One to come in this delivery. He looks sleepy and hungry. Don't show him us again. Come show him to us again. Show him to us again. He looks sleepy and hungry. Honestly. One delivery to come in this over. We'll watch as Greaves is gonna move in now to bowl to Kusal Mendis, and they're trying to work on it that there's only one no, but that we should be able to get in 2 overs after this. Bowls driven back to Greaves, who threatened to shy down the stump, but he can't shy down the stump if he doesn't have the ball in his hand. 400 for 5, made over by Greaves. Kusal Mendis on 30, Dinusha is on 35. Mendis 30, Dinusha 35. Greaves 12 overs, 1 for 30. Ah, Banana Brooks. That was a good one, Banana Brooks. Absolutely. Well done, my virgin. That's a good one. I always enjoy the banter here, no man. I enjoy the banter. Honestly, big up yourself, Banana Brooks. Uh, that yeah. Carlton, I understand this is a West Indies channel, but I don't think West Indies actually batting today. I think they're going to bat after tea. I don't think Sri Lanka will want to bat 2 days. I think they'll bat on the tea. And you say Hope will be so tired he won't pass 50. So they're gonna bowl Anderson Phillip for this over, giving him 6 overs. He's in balls outside the half stump. The batsman defend to the field that cover. There's no run. The score remains at 400 for 5. Hope will be so tired he won't pass 50. Yeah, so what number you think he will bat? Will he bat at 6 or will he bat at 7? Will he bat at 6? Will he bat at 4, 6, or 7? So that's a poll that I could do. But it's so close to lunchtime now, so that poll wouldn't work. So I'm gonna check on the poll to see what person says. Those who say less than 400 are already wrong. So let me just check on the poll to see the poll numbers. It'll be very interesting to see the poll numbers here. So 31% of you believe that is between 400 and 450. Also, 31% of you believe that it will be between 451 and 500. So they are tied there. At this stage, it looks like the person who's saying 451, between 451 and 500, because they're really batting good. So thank you for your feedback on the poll. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. And I respect everyone that answered the poll. Thank you. Good number of respondents there. Very good. Very good. So 3 dot balls by Phillip in this over thus far. It is said that when you have 92% respond to the poll and the target is always 100. Statistician will tell you that when you have 100% responding to a poll, it's fairly very, very accurate, And that's why they say that election results reflect the will of the people, because that's the best poll. Because driven through the offside, but there's a fielder on the boundary. So that's one more. If you have a population where if the population is the voting population is 10 million, right? And of those 10 million people that are eligible to vote, only about 4 million voted. Although the other 6 million doesn't vote, that 4 million that vote is a accurate interpretation of what the vote would still have been if all 10 million had voted. Phillip is over the wicket, bowls outside the stump. That's a cracking delivery by Phillip. Oh, did you see that one? Oh, that is world-class delivery by Phillip. It has everybody clapping. It touched down just about 4th stump. Look at that. And then it leaves Kusal Mendis, who he forced to play. He attempts to pull the bat away, but that's when the ball passed. Those of you who so watch Ghana in his prime, I know a lot of you wouldn't, because a lot of you who talk about the cricket didn't used to go to the cricket. But that was one of those Ghana delivery, which just kicked up off a full length. Phillip down the leg side, went for the glory ball and misses. As he went to bowl that glory ball, the ball that pitched on about leg stump and hit the top of half stump, and it never leave the batsman. It just continued on its way down the leg side, and Shai skipped across, took it 401 for 5. But that 5th delivery just now, it was a cracking delivery. So West Indies will bowl 25 overs in the morning session, which is 2 up on yesterday. So for what it is, you give them credit, and that's why I always wonder, how do you bowl 23 overs in the first session of a test match when you should be at your freshest? You would see teams bowl 30, 31 over in the first session, and then by session 2, they go down to 28, and by session 3, they're at 27, and then they need the last half hour to finish it up. But never have I seen a team start at 23 in the first morning of a test match. I've never seen that yet. They're always touching close to 30. 29, 30, 31. I've, I can't recall one below 28, except for England and the West Indies when Ben Stokes keeping up his foolishness. I can't. I've never seen 23 yet. I've never seen below 25 yet. As Greaves bowls to the left-hander Dunusha, who plays that into the region of Gully, and there's no run. Banana Brooks, have you ever seen 23? Garth Ains believe that Hope will bat at 6. Well, thank you for your perspective. I definitely missed the opportunity to do a poll on that one. But as I said, when we come back for the West Indies innings, whichever comes first, whether the start of play after tea or the West Indies innings, whichever come one first, that's when I will be back. Greaves bowls to Dinusha, who defends down the onside of the pitch, and there is no run. This is a final over before lunch. Sri Lanka having resumed this morning on 388. Was it 88 or 85? I think it's 385. So this has been real no, sorry, not 80. It's 330. 330 what? I have it in, so I shouldn't be worried about that. It's right at my fingertip. So but Brooks, he lets me laugh. He's not my secretary. That's that was a good one, Banana Brooks. That was a very, 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 very good one. Yeah, honestly, I like that one, Banana Brooks. 401 for 5. 2 deliveries to go before lunch. Greaves round the wicket, bowls, turn away off the pad down to the backward square leg. The touchdown for 1. They wanted 2. Dinusha wanted 2. Inexperience. Why do I say inexperience? If I'm batting, I'm not going back to 2. For 2, I'm not facing the last ball before lunch. I walk the first one, but Dinusha run hard and looking for comeback for 2. But I guess this is his third match. I think this is his third match. So inexperience showing up there. Although he'd have played a lot of first class cricket. But I'm not coming back for 2. Last delivery before lunch, I said, over to you, Kusal Mendis. I'm going to have a lunch. I'm going to have my lunch and come back out after lunch. Here is Greaves to bowl to Kusal Mendis, who blocks the last delivery. And that's lunch on the second day of the second test match between West Indies and Sri Lanka, live from Sir Viv in St. John's, Antigua. And at lunch, Sri Lanka winning the toss and batting are 402 for 5. So good steady bowling by West Indies today. You know, they haven't gotten away. They just scored probably about less than 70 runs this morning. You know, so good steady bowling by the West Indies, restricting Sri Lanka as restricting their progress. So they are 402. As I said, I like to see quality over quantity. I am not a scholar of overrates. Okay. All right. Yeah. I appreciate that, Banana Brooks, and I don't have an issue with your view on it. But then when it comes to the financial implication, if the overrates are slow, then it's something that the team has to keep a eye on. And that's why you need a good quality spinner, not only to speed up the overrate, but to make sure that that spinner is a wicket taking threat. What I've seen with some West Indies spinners in the past, in recent time, they are looking to improve it. They were so very slow, very, very slow. They go back to the top of the mark and they stand and they take 20 seconds, you know, so their over was taking as long as the fast bowlers. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. I appreciate your company much. Take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones. And as I said, I'll see you at the start of the West Indies innings or at after tea, whichever comes first. Bye for now.